Okay, we're off and running. Right, you'll need a belt. So if you've got a belt handy, grab a belt. And we're just going to stand with our feet hip width apart. So just stand so you've got equal distance between your big toes and your heels, and then spread your toes wide apart. And then working up through the legs. So from your knees, or from your knees, you don't start with your knees, from your feet with your ankles. Make sure your ankles feel level. So we tend to let the ankles collapse in when we stand. So we want to lift the inner ankles and stretch up through the shins, stretch up through the calf muscles, and then lock the kneecaps. Draw the thighs up towards your waist. So as you draw the thighs up, you want to feel down that you're creating space between your abdomen and your breastbone. And then draw the outer shoulders back, like so. Try and bring your shoulder blades together and then extend your arms down by your side. Have your belt so it's folded in half. And you just grab it in either hand, doesn't matter which hand. So really stretch up nice and tall. Let the abdomen relax, let the lower back muscles relax, and feel you stretch your tailbone down towards the floor as you try and lift your breastbone higher and higher up towards your chin. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we'll raise the arms up over your head, lock your elbows, and then with your other hand, grab your hand in your belt, like so. I can't quite see it, I can't see that's on the camera. So with your hands shoulder width apart, feel you pull on the belt and try and pull the belt apart as you lock your elbows. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, draw your shoulders away from your ears, and it should feel a bit easier when you pull on the belt. You should get a bit more space and opening. And then gradually see if you could draw your arms a bit further back. And that action comes from stretching through the abdomen, lifting the chest bone, drawing the tailbone down towards the floor, keeping the thigh muscles drawn up so the knees are locked. And remember to breathe. Take deep breaths in and out through the nose. So feel you relax around the shoulders, although we're pulling on the belt and we're stretching the arms either side. We want to try and open the shoulder area. We want to feel we relax around the shoulder blades, around the armpits, especially as the arms begin to tire a little bit. Just keep pulling on that belt. You'll feel most of the work now in the shoulder areas, and keep the legs working, abdomen relaxing. Really let the tummy muscles totally relax. And as you relax the abdomen, you can then feel the lower back muscles relax and release. Just keep taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then we'll slowly release the belt with one hand, and we'll just bring the arms down to shoulder level first of all. Slightly draw the arms further back and just stretch the hands back. Keep lifting the chest bone up towards the chin, taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then we'll slowly bring the arms all the way down by your side. And then you can relax. Now you'll need your chair. So just going to grab the chair here. And you put the chair on the end of the mat. Probably make sure at least a pair of the legs are on the mat. Now you might want your chair turned around to face you, depending on how high you can get your leg up. So, and then you might need some extra blocks as well to put in your chair. We're going to do Utthita Hasta Panicastasana. So the height of the chair is going to be, we're going to be doing this pose where we raise one leg up on the chair. The height of the blocks and the chair will depend on how much height you lift. If you've got a bit more stretch, you can place a blanket on the top of the chair like that. And you'll also need your belt. So the height of the blocks will depend on how high you can reach your leg up. So we'll Stand in front of our chair, so you want to be about foot and a half away, depending on where you're going to stretch to. And join your big toes, join your heels together. Stretch again up through the legs, so from your feet all the way up through your shins and the calves. Lock your kneecaps. Press these thighs back, and then feel you stretch this tailbone down towards the floor. So stretch the tailbone down. At the same time, lift your chest bone up towards the chin and broaden across the shoulders. Draw your outer arms back as you bring your shoulder blades together and stretch the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. So we're going to raise the right leg first of all. So take a breath in. As you exhale, bend the right knee and then either bring your foot onto the block or, if you can, reach the top of the chair. The important thing is your hips need to be balanced. So if you're finding you're raising your leg up and then your right hip is raising up in the air and your left is going down, that's no good. You're better off coming down the left. But if you can, keep the hips nice and level. Look at the toes of your right foot and then take your belt, place the belt around the centre of the outstretched right foot. And then just grab the belt in your hands as if you're riding a horse and pull on the belt. Now draw your toes towards you, but stretch your right heel away. So your toes stretch towards, right heel away. Your right knee should be pointing up towards the ceiling. And then press your right thigh down towards the floor. That will help stretch the right side of the body. And then with this left thigh, press the left thigh in to the centre or to behind you, like so. And then you can use your hands to pull on the belt to stretch the spine. So feel you stretch the spine and stretch the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Now feel you relax the abdomen, feel you relax the lower back muscles. Make sure you lift the ankle on the standing left foot and keep stretching your right heel away from you and pressing your right thigh down towards the floor. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then release the belt, bend your right knee and try and bring your right foot back onto the floor to join with your left. Try not to move the left if you can, and then we know we're stretching evenly on both sides. Stand up nice and tall again, broaden across the shoulders, stretch the arms down by your side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, this time we'll bend the left knee and then we'll raise the left foot either onto the blocks or onto the top of the chair, wherever you can manage. And then stretch your toes of your left foot towards your head. Take your belt, place the belt around the centre of the left foot. And again, just grab the belt in your hands like riding a horse. Use that to open and stretch the chest up towards the chin. So we draw the toes of the left foot towards us, stretch the left heel away, and then we're pushing our right knee down and pushing our left thigh down towards the floor. That helps stretch the left side of the body. At the same time, this right thigh here pushes back behind us. And then using the pull on the belt, we use that to stretch and lengthen the spine either side of the two muscles either side of the spine up towards the ceiling. Broaden across the shoulders, crown of head stretching up towards the ceiling. Let the abdomen totally relax. Let the lower back muscles relax. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then release the belt, bend the left knee and join the feet back together. And then you can just have a few moments to relax, have a drink, take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okie dokie. So you can keep your chair, we'll just take the blocks off the chair, take a blanket off the chair, and then we'll turn and put the chair on our left side first of all. You might need a belt. We're going to do foot shafts and a tree pose. The chair is just there if you need that for a bit of balance, and the belt might come in handy if you need that just to hold the foot up towards the top of the thigh. So join your big toes, join your heels together, and then stand up nice and tall. So work it up from the base, up through the legs, lock your knees, draw the thighs up towards the waist, lift and extend the breastbone up towards the chin, crown of head stretching up towards the ceiling, broaden this area across the chest and draw your outer shoulders back and stretch the arms down by your side. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee, come onto the toes of the right foot. Now at this point, squeeze your hips in towards each other on both sides and lock into that position. Then take another breath in. As you exhale, try and rotate your right leg as much as you can, but without turning on the left hip. So what tends to happen is hip tends to turn around like that when we turn. But we must make sure we don't move that left hip. So squeeze in and then just try and turn this right leg as much as you can. You might not be able to turn it too far, but see how far you can go. Then we take another breath in. As you exhale, this time we try and bend the right knee, bring the heel of the right foot to the top of the left thigh, with the toes going down the inside of the left leg. Squeeze this left hip in to lock in and press your right heel into the top of your thigh. Then you can lock that into position. If you need some balance, you can balance using the chair, or if you're really struggling to keep your leg up, you can take a belt and place that around the foot like that to hold the leg up. Focus at a point in the room, get the balance. Then if you're using the support in the chair, just raise your right hand. If you're feeling really confident, you can raise the left hand as well. Important thing is keep the balance in the hips, keep the standing leg firm. So press the big toe down on the left foot. Try and open the shoulders, lift the chest bone up towards the chin. And then once you've got to that point, if you can, see if you can rotate that right leg just a bit further back. Again, without turning on the left. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. So let the abdomen totally relax. Let the lower back muscles relax. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. The more we can relax around the abdomen and the lower back, the more stretch we can get up and extension in the upper spine. Okay, and then slowly lower the arms and then see if you can join the feet back together. And then we'll do the simple bit. We'll move the chair, if we need it, to the other side and have our belt handy just in case. And again, stand up nice and tall. Join your big toes, join your heels. From the base of the pose, stretching up through the legs, lock your knees, draw the thighs up towards the waist, stretch the tailbone down towards the floor, broaden across the shoulders, stretch the arms down by your side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, this time we'll bend the left knee and come onto the toes of the left foot. Then we'll take another breath in. As you exhale, try and rotate this left leg as much as you can, but again, without turning on the right leg. So keep that right hip locked into position. Stretch out nice and tall. Then take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee and bring your left heel to the top of the right thigh. So squeeze your right hip in towards the left and squeeze your right heel in towards the right, so you lock that into position. So you can feel them two really pushing together. And again, if you need some balance, you can use the chair. Stretch up nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, this time we raise the left arm up first of all, and then if you've got the balance, you can raise the right arm up as well. So again, stretch up, try and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Relax the abdomen, let the lower back muscles relax. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then if you can, see if you can rotate that left knee a little bit further back, again without rotating on the right hip. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Woo. Okay, and then you can lower the arms and join your feet back together. And just stand up nice and tall. Take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then your chair will be in a nice position just to be at the right side of your mat. If you want to have a drink or just a few breaths in before we do the next pose, then do that. So we're going to do Virabhadrasana 1 pose. So we're going to rest forward to the chair and raise one leg up like so. So we'll do the right leg first of all. So
Sorry, I don't know that.
I don't expect you to, Alexa. Thank you. Right. Always wants to join in the class, doesn't she? Right. Big toes together, heels together. Stand up nice and tall. Stretch the arms down by your side first of all. And try and bring your shoulder blades together. Kneecaps locked, thighs drawn up. Deep breath in. As you exhale, we'll take the arms all the way up over the head. And then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to bend forward. But as we bend forward, we take the thighs back a bit. And then we try and keep the arms up, try and keep the back straight for as long as we can. And if we can, bring our hands onto the top of the chair. Then we might need to walk the legs back so that the legs are vertical with the floor. And then try and squeeze the outer shoulders up towards the ceiling. And work our shoulder blades towards the front chest. Stretch the crown of the head towards the seat of the chair. And then try and stretch the tailbone back as much as we can. Then we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, then begin to raise our right leg off the floor. Now keep the toes pointing down towards the floor. Draw your toes towards your head, but stretch your right heel away from you. Try and keep your hips level. So as soon as your hips start to want to go up maybe higher on one side, or you feel it's dropping, that's maximum. If you can, keep raising the leg up, keep raising the leg up, and see if you can bring the leg parallel with the floor. Now press your thigh up towards the ceiling, but stretch your your right heel away, and then try and stretch the two muscles either side of the spine, crown of head stretching towards the chair. Relax the abdomen, let the tummy muscles relax, let the lower back muscles relax. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then slowly bring your leg back down and join your feet back together. Join your toes, heels together, and then re-stretch the spine again. Then draw the outer shoulders up towards the ceiling. Let the lower back muscles relax, abdomen relaxing. Deep breaths in and out. Then we take a breath in. As we exhale, this time we now begin to take the left foot back. Just take the foot off the ground. Draw your toes towards your head and stretch your left heel away from you. Then begin to carry on trying to raise your leg up. If you only get this far, that's fine. Eventually you want to try and keep going, and then try and see if we can bring the leg parallel with the floor. Now stretch into your left heel, stretch your head towards the chair, stretch your outer shoulders up towards the ceiling, and relax the abdomen. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then slowly bring the feet back together, and then we can just slowly walk towards the chair and come up nice and slow, and then just take a few breaths in. If you want to sit down on your chair, you may do that if you so wish. I'm just going to remind myself what I have next. Okay, right, that was the last of the standing poses. Side. You will need your chair again in a short while. I'm just going to turn my mat this way. I'm going to put my blanket onto the mat like so. I'll just change this camera position so you can see that a bit better. And then you'll need some blocks, however many you use to sit on, whether that's none, half, one, etc. And have a belt handy as well. So we're going to start off by doing Janu Shirshasana. So, first of all, make sure you're seated just onto your buttock bones and just forward to the front of your blocks. So that enables the thighs to rest down towards the ground so you can press your thighs down. Join your big toes together first of all, join your heels and sit up nice and tall. So that's Dandasana pose, basic seated pose. Then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to bend our right knee and bring the right foot in as close as we can towards us. And then just let the right knee rotate down towards the floor. Now I'm just going to grab these blocks, a bit too far away. Now, if you find that you take your knee down and maybe it's hovering in the air like that, you can take some blocks and you can support your leg with some blocks. A blanket is the ideal thing because with a blanket you've got a pillow's even better, because with a pillow you've still got some room to be able to move. The blocks are a bit solid and doesn't help you sort of stretch. And then gradually as we stretch, maybe over the weeks and months, you can get your knee right down towards the floor. Make sure your left foot is pointing up towards the ceiling, as is your left knee. Then take your belt and place your belt around the centre of the left foot. And then with straight arms, so work your way along the belt, let the belt slip through your hands until you feel you can burst your chest through the upper arms. Stretch the crown head up towards the ceiling and take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. So use that belt to, first of all, stretch your left heel away and draw your left toes towards your head. Press your left thigh down towards the floor. Also feel you stretch your knee further down on the right hand side. And after a few moments, we see if we can bend forward. So we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll walk the hands down the belt a few inches. And the important thing is only go a few inches and then use that to pull on the belt. Where you want to pull is from the lower back. So really stretch up along the spine, press more into your shoulder blades and press your shoulder blades in and then stretch. So don't do this sort of pose where you stretch your hands down, but you're rounding the shoulders. You see I'm rounding. The important thing is to open the chest and stretch that way. And then see if you can go maybe a few inches more and stretch the spine. So stretch the front of the body as well as on the back of the body. So stretch up, and then eventually you may get close enough to grab your feet. So the belt just acts as an extension to your arms. So don't worry if you can't grab the feet, that will come one day. You'll still feel the same pain in the back of the knee as you can feel now, whether you've got the belt or your hands. Once you get to the point of grabbing the feet, you need to start lifting your elbows up towards the ceiling and then pulling and extending. So eventually you want to try and bring the abdomen somewhere onto the thigh. Chest bone should be aiming to reach around the knee, and then you're aiming to stretch your forehead somewhere towards the shins. I don't know how many years I've been doing this, I don't seem to get anywhere near it. It could be better. But that's the point of yoga, isn't it? We just keep practicing and practicing. Just moving a little bit each day is better than doing nothing at all. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then release. Come back up to center and re-stretch and join the feet together again. So just sit up nice and tall in Dandasana, with toes together, heels together. Press your thighs down towards the floor. Then we take a breath in. As we exhale, this time we'll bend the left knee. You might want to move your blocks that you had on the right side over onto the left. And bring your foot in as close as you can. And then just let that left knee go down to the floor. You might find you've got your right knee down on one side, but the left knee may be hovering again. Same thing, you can put some support under there, and then eventually we can get all the way down towards the floor. First of all, look at your right foot. Make sure your toes are pointing directly up towards the ceiling, right knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And feel you stretch up from the lower base of the spine. Sit up nice and tall. Take your belt, place your belt around the center of the right foot this time. And then with straight arms, pull on the belt. So stretch up nice and tall. Let the abdomen relax. Lower back muscles relaxing. Right heel stretching away from you. Toes stretching towards the head. Right thigh, this thigh pressing down into the floor. Press that down as hard as you can. And stretch up nice and tall. Deep breaths. In and out through the nose. On the next breath, as you breathe out, walk your hands a couple of inches down the belt and then see if you can pull on that belt. And again, stretch from the base of the spine along the two muscles either side of the spine, stretching along the back. Stretch your left knee down towards the floor. And then if you can, keep going, walking your hands along the belt. If you're at your maximum, that's fine. And then eventually, we're going to try and rest the abdomen onto the right thigh, chest towards the knee, and forehead somewhere towards the shin. But you'll find one side is always stiffer than the other. This is my stiffer side, so I have to work this more. Really stretch the back. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Also helps sometimes to squeeze your abdomen in. So squeeze your abdomen in and then just let the lower back muscles release. And you might find you go another few millimeters down the back. Make it a few more inches down as you go. Deep breaths in and out. Okay, and then slowly come back up to center and stretch both legs away from you. Okay, you can put your blocks to one side. You can sit off your block. If you want to grab a drink, have a drink. I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to just pull my blanket back a bit. We're going to lie completely flat on our backs now. Have your belt handy. So just join your big toes, join your heels together. So join your big toes, join your heels together and just lie completely straight. Draw your toes towards your head, but stretch your heels away from you. Press your thighs down into the floor. And then feel you stretch your chest bone towards your chin. And then draw your outer shoulders down into the floor. You might be able to lift your shoulders up, shoulder blades up, and then bring your shoulder blades together. And just feel the outer shoulders release down towards the floor. Try and feel your chin is level, not tilting back. And just take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. On the next breath, as you breathe out, begin to bend your right leg and then bend your left leg. And then grab your shins and draw your shins close in. So you try and bring your knees close towards the chin area. You're not going to get it towards your chin. And try and feel you stretch the two muscles either side of your spine. Then take a breath in. As you exhale, take your belt and place the belt, lift your head up and place the belt around the centre of your feet like so. And then just rest the head back onto the floor. Take another breath in. As you exhale, begin to slowly straighten the legs up to 90 degrees. So stretching your heels up towards the ceiling, drawing your toes back down towards your tummy muscles. And then feel you press thighs, this area, the thighs, away from you. So really stretching, that helps stretch the spine. Try and feel you open the chest, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really work the thigh muscles. Really press your thighs away from you as you try and draw your head, your toes towards you. Open the backs of the knees. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Slowly release the belt and just let the ends of the belt rest in your hands and see if you can just use your leg muscles without using the belt. If you find it's really hard, you can just gently pull on the ends of your belt and that will help give you a bit of lift. If you can, just release the belt and just use your leg muscles. You've really got to use your thigh muscles now to keep the legs up in position. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then slowly bend your knees, bring your feet back on the ground, release the belt, and then stretch one leg away at a time. And just let the feet fall out to the side. Just taking some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then we'll re-stretch the legs again. So re-stretch, stretch your heels away, draw your toes towards your head. And then this time we're just going to bend the right leg. So take a breath in. As you exhale, this time bend your right knee, grab your shin, and just pull your right leg in as much as you can. Feel as if you're going to try and draw your right knee to the outside and try and join your right knee with your right armpit. Keep your left foot pointing up towards the ceiling Left knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in and out. On the next breath out, lift your head up, take your belt, place the belt around your right foot, and then rest the head back onto the floor. Breathe in. As you exhale, slowly straighten the right leg up to 90 degrees. Just hold the belt in your hands and use the pull on the belt to draw your right toes towards your head, stretch your right heel away from you. Press your right thigh forward. So the more we press our right thigh, the more we can extend the muscle on the right side of the body. Relax the abdomen, tummy muscles relaxing, lower back relaxing. Feel you press your left foot down into the floor and also stretch your left heel away from you. Now just release the belt slightly so you can feel that you're working the leg on its own. You can just gently hold the belt if you need a bit of gentle support. But try and use the leg muscle itself. You can feel the leg muscle in and around the right thigh, working hard to maintain that. Okay, and then slowly release. Bend the right knee, bring the right foot back onto the floor, and then slowly stretch the right leg away from you. Just take a few deep breaths in and out. And then this time we'll slowly bend the left knee. Grab the left shin and pull the left leg in as close as you can to you. Try and aim as if you're going to bring your left knee going towards your left armpit. Feel you lengthen the spine. Also stretch your right heel away. Draw the right toes towards your head. And deep breaths in and out through the nose. On the next breath out, lift your head up. Place the belt this time round the centre of the left foot. And then slowly rest the head back onto the floor. Breathe in. As you breathe out, this time raise the left leg up towards the ceiling. Now, press the left thigh away from you. So stretch the left thigh down towards the right foot. At the same time, draw the toes of your left foot towards your head. Stretch your left heel up towards the ceiling. Press your right thigh down into the floor and also stretch your right heel away from you. And then just release the belt slowly on the left-hand side and just use those leg muscles on the left side. If you need to, you can just gently pull on the belt to give you a bit of gentle support, but just try and use your leg muscles to try and move your leg closer to you if you can. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then bend your left leg, bring your foot back on the floor, release the belt, and just slowly stretch both legs away from you. Just let the feet fall out to the side for a minute. And just take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. So we're just going to do a slight variation. So in the past, we've done this where we bend the right leg, take it up, and then take it out that side. What we're going to do is take it this side. Now, the important thing is, so we're going to raise the right leg. The left leg, we don't want to rotate round. So normally when we raise and take the right leg out to the side, I tell you to keep your your left buttock in contact with the floor. And that's the same here, but your left leg needs to remain vertical. the toes staying up vertical. So if you feel you start to roll over, that's where you've gone to your maximum. So we'll try and go through this together. So take a breath in. As you exhale, this time we'll bend the right leg, lift the head up, place the belt into the round the right foot, and then slowly straighten the right leg up the centre. Grab the belt in your right hand, and then just stretch your left arm out towards the side. Keep this left leg pointing up towards the ceiling, toes pointing up. Then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, now begin to just take your right leg over, keeping your left leg pointing up, and try and stretch your right leg over towards the side. As soon as you feel you want to turn your foot down towards the floor, that's where you work at maximum. You just got to try and turn your leg as much as you can. Now try and extend through the abdomen, and then try and stretch your shoulders back that way. Try and keep both shoulders stretching down towards the floor if you can. Okay, and then slowly come back over, bend your right leg, and stretch your right leg away from you. Bring your left hand back in. Just take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then we'll do the other side. So stretch both legs, first of all. Stretch crown of head in the opposite direction. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll bend the left leg. Lift the head up. Place the belt around the left foot. Inhale. As you exhale, straighten the left leg up to 90 degrees and grab the belt in your left hand. Take another breath in. As you exhale, now take your right hand out towards the right. Just rest your hand onto the floor. Now look at the toes of the right foot. Make sure they're pointing up towards the ceiling, and you want to keep them doing that. Now take a breath in. As you exhale, just try and take your left leg down over and across to the other side without turning the right leg. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then straighten the leg back up to centre, bend your left leg, and then stretch your legs away from you. Now we'll do it for time. Right, we've got one more little surprise pose. Now, I'll give you a choice. You can either do this pose with me, or you can do Setu Bandha if you don't want to do this. So we're going to do plough position, half a plough to a chair. So we'll turn our mats this way. And we'll take our full front blocks as if we're going to do shoulder balance. And we'll place them onto our mat like so. So we'll do our 4 blocks like so. And then fold one end of the blanket over, so didn't mean blanket, I meant the mat. Then take our blanket and fold this back in half. And I'll just fold that on to the top of the mat and the 4 blocks, and then fold my mat back onto the top. So I've got a nice straight edge here, got a bit of a loose bit there. If you're going to do Setu Bandha, you just need your mat out and your 4 home blocks, but I think this is not too bad. And then we put the chair on the same side as our straight edge. Now I'm going to quickly show you what you can do once you've got your mats ready. So what I'm going to get you to try and do is have your shoulders onto the edge of your pad like so, in the back of the head, just resting onto the floor. Then bring your hands onto the floor here, and then take a breath in. As you exhale, push down with your hands and bring your knees towards your chest. And then see if you can just roll over and bring your feet up onto the chair, and then bring your hands onto your back, like so. Important thing here is press your thighs up towards the ceiling, stretch your heels away from you, and your lower position, so your hips should be somewhere over your shoulders. Try and relax your abdomen. And deep breaths in and out through the nose. So the important thing is to stretch the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing your thighs up towards the ceiling, working your heels away from you, trying to stretch. Try and work your hands lower down your back to support your back. Working your shoulder blades towards your front chest. Most importantly, breathe. Okay, and then we'll bend the knees and just slowly begin to roll back down. Make sure you support your hands on the floor like so, and see if you can bring yourself back down gently onto the floor.
Things might seem bad, but I promise they can always get better. Talk to the Samaritans on 08457 909090.
It weren't that bad a pose, Alexa. She reckons we should bring the Samaritans.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
What we'll do is we'll just join the big toes and take our knees apart in front of our pads. Just rest their arms forward like so, and just rest their heads on. And just let the lower back release. Take deep breaths in and out through the nose. Just deep breaths as we let the spine relax, let the abdomen relax, let the lower back muscles relax. Okay, and then we can slowly come up from there. And then we can do some proper relaxation. That sounds good, doesn't it? So we can take our unfold our mat, take our blocks out. Refold our blanket. Like so, and then I'm going to put something warm in ready for some relaxation. So just make sure our support is supporting the whole of the upper back from our base rib cage. Feel that the shoulders can release down towards the floor. Our chin should level. If we feel that the chin is tilting back, we need to take our blanket and just fold it under our head. So we don't want to feel tilted back, but again, we don't want the chin to tilt down towards the chest. Just let the feet fall out to the side, hands slightly away from the body, back of the hands on the floor with the fingers gently curling, and then close our eyes. Feel the eyes relax in the socket. Don't let the eyes roll to the back of the head though, so focus the eyes more towards the chest. And then just take a breath in through the nose, back out through the nose. Just try and keep the breathing even and steady. So don't count the breath, we don't want to be counting. We want to learn to relax. And we just want to feel that the breathing is equal. And feel that every time we take a breath in, try and increase the length of breath in and equally increase the length of breath out. And then as we begin to relax, we can feel the skin softening across the face. We can feel the tension releasing from the muscles around the scalp. We can feel the skin soften around the top of the head, around the back of the head, down into the neck. Feel those neck muscles begin to soften and relax, the tension releasing. And then as you relax the muscles in to the tops of the shoulders, you can feel the muscles around the tops of the shoulders, around the tops of the arms. Feel those muscles begin to soften and totally relax. And then feel the muscles in around the arms, around the elbows, and then into the forearms, and all the way down to our hands and eventually towards our fingers. Feel those muscles just softening and relaxing. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then coming back up to the chest area, feel the muscles, there's a band of muscles that run right round the front of the body, right round the back to the shoulder blades. Feel that band of muscles release. And as you release across the front, you can also feel the muscles around the shoulder blades relax. And then feel the tummy muscles softening with every breath you breathe in, and with every breath you breathe out. And as you feel the tummy muscles relaxing, you can feel the muscles in and around the lower back release and soften. And as you relax the lower back muscles, you can then feel the buttock muscles release and soften. The muscles around the thighs begin to loosen. And then the muscles around the knees and the kneecaps into the backs of the knees, eventually down into your shins and the calves, and all the way down to your toes. And as you begin to relax, you should feel your breathing become slower. Take a much longer breath in and a much longer breath out. Each time increasing the length of the breath in and increasing the length of the breath out. If at any time you feel short of breath, Just come back to where you feel comfortable and then recommence the process again. So I'm just going to take a few moments, just be quiet and just let you immerse yourself in your own relaxation. Okay. Come out of relaxation, just keep your eyes closed for a moment. And just slowly bend our knees. And then we just gently roll onto our right hand side first of all. Keeping the eyes closed, just bring your knees together, feet together. Keep your back in one straight line. And then just gently roll over onto your left hand side. Again, join your knees, join your feet together. Keep your back in one straight line. Then begin to slowly open your eyes. Just take some of the light in. And then when you're ready, you may slowly come up from there.